All right, we are back with another review, and today is going to be Quadeca's most recent album, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You. This is an 11 track album. It is 58 minutes long, and I just kind of have to say that the production quality on this, it's amazing. It's exactly what I was wanting from Quadeca's next album, because his last album, as I've previously stated before, I'm pretty sure it had flashes of great production quality from time to time, but it was never truly constant. And I feel like this album it's as constant as you can ask for, honestly. I mean, the production is amazing. Sorry for Dying, first opening track, was an experience. It really kind of set the tone for the rest of the album. I know that there's some people who say that the first part of the album wasn't nearly as good as the latter half. For me, that's not necessarily the case, and it's a little weird that people did say that, because in general, when I'm looking at the track list here, and these are all pretty lengthy songs, right? I mean, there's no song under 3 minutes besides one song, and that's track 6, The Memories We Lost in Translation. That's a minute and 43. That is the shortest track on the album, with the longest track being the final track, 8 minutes 16 seconds, Cassini's Division. I have to give Quadeca his props, because this album is classified as alternative, so I'm going to kind of treat it that way. This album feels like he's lived in the alternative genre for a good minute now. And if I was being introduced to Quadeca, I probably wouldn't even have assumed that he was a rapper before, because this just feels like a step in a different direction, but it doesn't feel like an uncomfortable step. It feels like he's stepping into this role that he's always been familiar with. And conceptually, it's really great. It has a good narrative going to it. Now, whether we know that narrative or not is yet to be seen. There's a couple of theories going around right now, and it's kind of crazy. I think the theory from the singles versus the theory now with the album out is entirely different, which is what I expected to happen, and why I didn't really dive into anything too crazy. But from the singles, it was pretty obvious that this was going to be a conceptual album. This is a passion project, and for a passion project, I feel like every song you can definitely feel the passion. The storytelling is great. It's just putting the pieces together, figuring out whether he's trying to be literal, whether he's trying to be figurative with what he's saying. And there was somebody who did bring a interesting theory that the story is about an individual getting into a car accident and passing away, and all of that stuff, which, if anybody wants to look at that theory, because it's pretty sure it was a pretty long like essay like theory in his subreddit, I'll be sure to link that in the description. I don't want to put it in here and then like ruin it for somebody, for anybody who's actually like really wanting to die hard the concept in. But it's definitely, conceptually, there's something there, whether we know or not. Like I said, we don't know. I mean, Quad is pretty aware that we're all trying to figure it out, and we're going to get it wrong, and some of us might get it right. But this album, from the very beginning, once the track list got announced, it was pretty interesting, because the first thing that me, and I'm pretty sure many of his fans noticed, was the features. He has 3 features listed, and these are not like low level features or anything. You have people from the likes of Danny Brown, Thor Harris, and Sunday Service Choir. I don't know how you get the Sunday Service Choir, like what the process looks like for that, if it's even possible. I mean, obviously it's possible because he did it. I don't know how he did it, but it's a beautiful song. Fractions of Infinity is the Sunday Service Choir song. That is probably one of my favorite songs on the album so far, aside from the intro track Sorry for Dying and the third track Don't Mind Me. But I think it's really impressive that, he managed to get Sunday Service Choir somehow. He got Danny Brown, he got Thor Harris. They contribute greatly to the album, to the tracks that they're on. It's just all around impressive, and it kind of makes you sit there and think everything that I expected from Quadeca as an artist, I should probably throw it out now because he's kind of showing us a different level that we haven't really seen yet. And maybe that is recency bias, but I really do enjoy the album. It's highly replayable. It may take some time to get kind of settled in with some tracks. Knots seems to have really hit home with a lot of people upon their first listens. It didn't grow onto me until like my later listens, and then it got like stuck in my head for like an entire morning. It was a little annoying, but it's a good song. Fantasy World appears to be people's favorite track at the moment. I'm not entirely sure I would agree with that. But, we all have our different opinions. But, yeah, I didn't mean to haunt you. Really good album. Probably one of the best albums of this year that I've heard, honestly. And I've heard quite a few albums that have came out. I'm going to have to give this I think I'm going to sit here and give this a 9.2 out of 10. Recency bias, like I said, might play a part. For Me to You, his last album, I still really enjoy it. There was a couple tracks on that album I didn't really enjoy and that never grew on me. But this is entirely new. I don't even feel like making that comparison is fair to either one of these projects. It's so obvious that he made leaps and bounds of progress on every aspect of his work and commitment to these projects that I just think, they kind of deserve to be looked at by themselves and judged that way. But make sure you subscribe, leave a comment what your favorite song is if you listen to the album, what your most disliked song. I'm tired. I don't know if I said it right. If I'm stupid for giving this album such a high rating, if it was good to give it a high rating, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. We are out.